Building a desktop recording rig like this is something I've wanted to do for quite a few years, and my idea is just that I want to facilitate a really quick workflow so I can build a great dry guitar tone with compression, overdrive, maybe some fuzz. If I want to, I can bake in a delay sound, get it recorded, and then if I want to later, I can mess with more delays, reverbs, modulation, and stuff like that. I do have an insert here if I want to patch in another effect. It's before my final overdrive, so I can always get like a distorted reverb, distorted delay, or I can always have like something you would want before overdrive, typically like phaser in there. So I'm just going to walk you through everything here, all the products I use, the cables, the pedals, of course. Everything's going to be linked in the description. I gotta say, I got this idea from a video that Rhett Shull did. This is the Gator Frameworks sidecar, which is pretty affordable when you look at other recording sidecars. It's housing a bunch of other audio equipment that I'll talk about in a later video. I'm still kind of getting it together. And yeah, so it's just on a nice little sliding drawer. Everything's being powered here by the CS6. This is one of the best power supplies you can get, and it's pretty cheap, honestly. So I've used that touring, and finally found another spot just built into my home recording rig. The first thing my guitar hits is this Saturnworks Patchbay, 4 in, 4 out. So I plug in, comes out here, goes to the Rockstock Nano tuner, which is the smallest tuner on the market for sure. And if I want to, I can actually unplug it and use this power for an external pedal, like I said. So yeah, the Rockstock Nano tuner, smallest one out there. Check that out down below if you want. From there, it goes into the Keeley Compressor Pro. Pretty simple compressor pedal here. I love that it has a gain reduction meter on it. It also shows you the input signal when the threshold's being passed there, and then, like I said, the gain reduction. So it's got a lot of different ratio controls. It's got the nice option of having a hard knee or a soft knee. So if you don't know what that is, check this out for a second. Soft knee is a little bit more transparent. The compression comes in more smoothly. I'll do a full video on this pedal, by the way. And then a hard knee is going to be a much more noticeable squashed sound. Great for like country playing and stuff. Again, soft knee is a little bit more subtle. So a lot of control here with this. It does have individual controls for attack and release, which is great for really dialing in the right compression tone. And then I've also got the ability to just set the attack and release to be automatic. Okay, so then going into the JHS Double Barrel. This is the version 3, actually. I did a full video on this already. I like the version 3 a little bit better than I like the version 4, I think, just because they changed this side of the pedal on the version 4. This is the old Tube Screamer model, so it's got a TS10 mode, a TS808 mode, and a TS9. A lot of different sounds, and it sounds really great. And then we have the Morning Glory on this side. A little bit of a smoother overdrive sound, and of course I can switch the direction if I want to stack these, which one comes first. And then we come out of the double barrel into the Chase Bliss Zvex collaboration, the Bliss factory, the Fuzz factory, right? It's got a lot of cool features in it. You can get some really unique fuzz tones out of this. It's got a gate. It's got a filter. Okay, out of the Bliss factory, it goes back to the Saturnworks Patchbay, where I have a send and a return if I want to patch in something else. I keep showing this pedal. This is the Old Blood Noise. the Dark Star reverb. I've had this one for a really long time. So again, like modulation, reverb, more delay if I want to, and then out of the Saturnworks, comes back and goes through the Vox Silk Drive. Let me talk about this one for a second. So the Silk Drive here. This is part of the Vox Valvenergy series pedals. It actually uses Korg's new tube technology. There's a little tiny micro, very low wattage tube inside it, which really gives it a different feeling than some of these solid state pedals. So the tube in there is acting as the preamp and also the saturation stage. And this voicing happens to be the Dumble style pedal that they offer. So lower gain settings, they kind of advertise it's going to take on the steel string singer type tone. Higher, it's going to go into the Dumble overdrive special kind of territory. 3-band EQ, a bright switch that I know you can't really see that well. Master volume, of course. So 3 important ways that this pedal can function. I actually have the Vox Mystic Edge, which is the AC30 voicing that I keep on one of my live boards. And it's a really great pedal because it allows me to be really adaptable. Like I said, 3 modes. So you can use it as a standard overdrive just into the front end of a guitar amp, or record direct and put some amp simulation on it later if you like that. Then it works also in preamp mode, which is how I've been playing for this video. So what it does is essentially is made to replace the front end, the preamplifier section of a tube amp. So you would use this heading into the effects return of a guitar amp. So you're still using a live cab, still using a power amp section, but this is your preamp. So you can take, for example, like I leave my Fender Blues Deluxe at this church I'm at every Sunday. Just means I've just, I can save my back not carrying it in. And I use the Mystic Edge, the Vox voicing, to run into the effects return on that. So I can take this, I don't have a Vox style amp, though I really love that sound. I can actually use my Fender Tweed style amp. And now it kind of sounds a little bit more like a Vox amp. So they have a Marshall voicing as well, and then something that's like a Mesa Boogie dual rectifier. I'll link the entire series down in the description. I think they're a really great series of pedals. They just dropped in price. I don't think they're too popular yet. They came out last year. And then I said, 3 ways. The third way this is going to operate is it actually has some built-in cab simulation. So I can run out of this and just go direct into the preamps below. I believe it's just using a standard EQ curve for the cab emulation. It's not like an impulse response or anything, but it works. It sounds pretty good. It's convenient if you need to record quietly. So out of the Vox into the Ibanez delay. And this is another one that a lot of people don't see too often. When it went on sale about a year ago, I had a hard time finding any demos. So I do have my own demo of this pedal out if you want to check that out. This is pretty cool. It has a few nice features. So you can switch between an analog and a digital sound. Here's the digital. There actually are 2 distinct circuits inside this pedal. It's not just like putting a filter on a digital delay and calling it analog because it sounds darker or something. It is actually 2 distinct circuits. So the analog has a shorter time. It's a bucket brigade based delay. Digital, you get longer time. You get a different kind of modulation. Let's listen to the modulation real quick. Switching to analog, this is going to sound a little bit in the territory of like a Memory Man type delay. Here's another cool thing you can do with it. So this is a nice delay pedal because you can use it with synths and you can use it with line level instruments or instrument level instruments. So I have it on line setting right now because the preamp is putting out a pretty hot signal. But if I dip it down and put it in the mic level signal, you're going to hear this thing actually distort, which has a cool sound. I'll slow that down. You can actually hear it getting progressively more and more distorted. It's just a really great box. It's fun. It's got like this little fader on it. So yeah, out of the Saturnworks, I can patch into the amp. I can patch into any of the preamps down here. I've got some Neve style stuff, which you heard in the first sample with the backing track. Playing by myself. Right after that, you heard it going into the Black Lion API style preamp. Right now I'm heading into the Focusrite ISA, which is just a clean general kind of sound. I also have some SSL pre's on the way. I have one right here right now, and some Millennia stuff too. So something else I could always do is I've got a Reamp box here patched in. So if I ever wanted to, I could just send a recording. I actually have a second Reamp box on the way, so I could do stereo through an amp in the room or through some stereo guitar pedals, whatever. I could just head out of the Reamp box, patch it in here, and then back out into a preamp. If I wanted to distort anything I had previously recorded, maybe I did some vocals or like a Rhodes piano, can be kind of a cool sound distorted. Again, this whole demo, you were listening to the Vox Silk Drive acting as the preamp, heading into a Quilter solid-state amp there in the effects return, and then finally powering a PRS 2x12 cab with, I think it's Celestian Gold speakers in it. Forget if I mentioned this or not. The cables I'm using are Megami 2314, which are really thin. I used it for my pedal board build last year. They're really durable, really thin, easy to take around corners and stuff, make things nice and neat. And then for the connectors, I'm just using the generic Redco pancake patch cable, the right angle ones, whatever you want to call it. So this whole process was pretty exciting, putting this together. I'm still waiting on a few 500 series preamps, and I got to figure out what I'm going to put in this rack space, this empty one. Then it'll finally be finished. I'm going to have 32 inputs, so I can record a full band, pretty much anything I want to do. Again, I'm going to have a full video on the entire recording rig here, building this thing from start to finish in a week or two. So take care. Thanks for watching. Again, if you liked any of these products, if you want to learn more about them, check out the link in the description. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.